All right. Welcome back to Talks with Goddess Akasha. I know I have been MIA, you guys. I have been running, honey, been running. Um, so Spirit put something in my spirit that I needed to talk about. And it's been something I've been really afraid of speaking on for a long time. Although it's in my book, A Divine Path, Life Transitions and Lessons Learned. I did put it in here, but a lot of it's not. It hasn't been purchased by a lot of people and read by a lot of people. So mainly just people who are close to me. Um, so to do this on this platform is a major deal for me, guys. So bear with me as I am extremely nervous. Um, Disclaimer: this is gonna get pretty real, y'all. I'm about to share some things with you all about my life, my journey. That, um, you it can be triggering. I'll put it like that. This is definitely a trigger warning. So, with that being said, um, I guess we could just get into it. So, really, I wanted to come and share some of my trauma with you all today, and of course, for legal reasons and out of respect for the other people who may be, involved, who are involved in the stories. Um, I will not use names. However, it's time for me to share my story. At least this part. This is the most traumatic portion of my life that I have found completely difficult to heal from, to address, to face. Um, and over the past couple of years, I have been working through it. And, even though I've been knew I was supposed to speak out about it, I just, I allow fear, I'm gonna be real, y'all know I'm transparent. I allow fear to stop me. I allow fear to get in the way of me telling my story, telling my truth because of what other people, especially the people who are involved in the stories, will feel or how they'll react. Um, how people that don't really know me gonna feel or react. How my folks going, it's a lot of worrying about what other people think, and I'm not here for that. So I've come to a place where I'm not gonna allow myself to continue to run from sharing something that I know can help a multitude of people. Because I say that because in my life I have met quite a few people who feel the same way I feel, have been through the same things I've been through, and just don't have the strength to share the story or don't know how to, where to start. You know what I'm saying? And then there are people who haven't spoke out, period. And I just, because of the spirit that I have, I know. You know what I'm saying? So I do this for all of the people who don't have a voice. I do this for all of the people who have suffered in silence for years out of fear and shame and guilt and all of the above. You feel me? So I do this for the people who were victims but were uh, treated like they were the culprit, the victims who were blamed for what happened to them. I do this for them because it's about time somebody say something. Like I don't feel like things like this should be kept in the dark. I don't feel like these kind of excuse me, truth should be swept under the rug. It's not fair to all of those involved because at the end of the day, I have to be real with y'all. It's not just effed up for the victim, it's effed up for the person who actually caused the trauma as well. Because guess what? That trauma came, what they did came from trauma. or came from some type of experience that already had occurred with them. You feel what I'm saying? And sometimes, to be honest, like in one of my particular situations, it is generational shit that been passed down, because energy transfers. This energy transfers through families rapidly and consistently throughout generation after generation after generation, without people realizing what needs to be done for this shit to stop. A lot of families have that rule: what happens in his family stays in his family. So when things happen like this within those type of families, nothing gets done, nothing gets dealt with, nothing gets talked about, nobody gets help. It's nothing, no justice, no nothing. It's just, all right, we dealt with it when in the family, we gonna shut up and not talk about it again. That's what my situation was like. And unfortunately, for years, myself and a few other people in my family have been silenced out of fear, or out of trying to respect the family and the family's wishes and shit. And this shit not fair. It's not fair that we have to continue to suffer in silence and nothing be done. Just imagine having to still continue to be around the person who harmed you, the person who violated you, and have to pretend like everything's okay. And when you can't hold in what the hell you feeling, everybody looking at you like you crazy or saying something wrong with you. Just imagine that. Well, I don't have to imagine it. That's my life. That was my life. That was my childhood. You feel what I'm saying? My teenage years. Unfortunately, I haven't just been raped once. I've been raped multiple times and in multiple different situations. The first occurring rape that I can remember, because I'll be very honest, a lot of my life is a blur. A lot of my life is really blacked out, and I don't know what is missing. I don't know what things, that I don't remember. I don't know. So yes, I have a lot of parts of my life that I don't remember at all. But the very first sexual assault that I remember came from a family member, and it came from somebody I felt like I should have been able to trust, and I couldn't. And yeah, I'm not the only victim in my family either. So it's really like, that's why it's so hard for me, right? Because it would be one thing if it was just me, and I said this in my book. If it was just me who was assaulted, it was much just me that was violated, I could handle that, right? Because I had been through so much hurt in my life, that I really did not care about much of anything. I kind of like iced myself out in childhood. I was really numb about a lot of things. So when it was just me, it was fine. Like whatever. It's not the first time that, I felt like I did some things that I really didn't want to do just to, appease somebody else. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, it was cool. I could handle it. I felt like I can handle it. You know, it's me. I've been through this much. I can handle this. I'm fine. And then it became something that I couldn't handle anymore because I was no longer the only person. And it come out that there were others, and it really, really fucked me up. It fucked me up, plain and simple. You feel what I'm saying? And I really, I couldn't handle that. I couldn't allow that, for it to be other people that have to be silenced. No, I couldn't deal with that, and they were younger than me. So, then it posed the question: if that happened to us and we family, how many other victims are out there that we don't know about that's scared to say something? You feel me? Because he was so popular, so loved by everybody. So, who would ever think? Who would ever think? So when I found out that it wasn't just me, of course I went to another family member and I said something. And as I thought, which is why another reason why I never spoke up about mine is because I just knew that it would not be received. I would be accused of lying because they already had their own opinions about me because I was so promiscuous when I was young. A lot of things happened to me as a child. You feel me? And a lot of times, a lot of that shit my family don't know about. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, a lot of my sexual activity stemmed from trauma. All right, so hmm, I struggled with my sexuality for years. Like I'm just in, in my adult years, within the past 6 or 7 years, I've been, coming into an understanding of and an acceptance of my sexuality and my sexual preferences and such. And growing up in a church going home, you know the things that I would do, the things that I'm into is unacceptable. It was unacceptable. It wouldn't even have been a conversation. You feel what I'm saying? Not then. Things are different now, but yeah, when I was a child, absolutely not. I couldn't talk about the things that I desired or felt, or I couldn't. So there was a lot of things that I was interested in, a lot of things I couldn't understand why I was even turned on by. You feel what I'm saying? But I was having sex at an early age. I started at 12. And no, I don't say that with pride. You know, not even with conviction though, because at the end of the day, what happened with me and how it happened came from the situations that I was in. So I reacted in the way that, at that time, that's where I was at. So no, I'm not proud of it, but however, I don't feel shameful about it either anymore. So yeah, I started at 12, and they were older men. I was taken advantage of a lot. I'll put it like that. I was taken advantage of a lot. So I was 12, and I was out. At the time, my mom, she was real funny about who I get to hang with. Real funny about who I was able to hang around. So I couldn't hang with certain people. She thought that they were hot or fast and stuff like that. Crazy enough, they weren't. Only one of them was. Only one of them was. The rest of us was scared. You feel me? But I started hanging around. One of her friend's daughters, who was like 5 years my senior, and she exposed me to a lot. She exposed me to a lot because she was 18. Of course, hanging with her, I'm hanging around other 18-year-olds, 20, 21s. You feel me? Like, yeah, I was hanging around adults. And, adults was doing adult things. And crazy enough, even knowing how old I was still pressured into doing stuff. You feel what I'm saying? Some stuff I really just wanted to know what it was like. I'm going to be honest, I'm a very curious person. Was definitely a very curious child. I always wanted to know what things were like. I didn't ever want to be like, no, and not try it. You feel what I'm saying? I needed the experience. I'll put it like that. So they would offer and I would accept. Because I'm like, well, shit, they doing it. Must not be that bad. Let me try it. Let me see what it's giving. You feel what I'm saying? So that was how it was as a youngin'. You feel me? So yeah, I got into a lot of things at the age of 12. I started drinking, smoking, and having sex at the same time. Pretty much simultaneously right behind each other. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, it was rough. And I learned everything I knew from in the streets. I learned from being in the streets. You feel what I'm saying? I did a lot of sneaking around after that. Like once I really got around those people and they introduced me to everything they introduced me to, I was gone. I was being real sneaky. You feel me? My homegirl would lie for me. She would tell my mother we'd be one place and we'd be at a whole party or at a nigga house. It was, yeah, right. It was crazy. Until this day, I can't understand why would they think that was okay? Like, why, the only time they really started speaking up for me and shit, like really like interfering with the things I was doing, was when my mother started catching wind of the fact that I was at boys' houses at night and stuff. Well, they was men. Yeah. So that's the only time a concern came about. Um, so yeah, that was how it all began, right? And I would say the only person that was in my age range was the guy I lost my virginity to. He ended up being a sucker. He ended up being a real sucker. But you know how when you're young and you're doing stuff like that, your friends tell you, "Oh, test him out and see if he really love you," because that'd be the thing. He said he loved me, so if he loved me, then I would do such and such. And I thought that that's what you did. You feel me? So yeah, really wish it wasn't him. Really wish it wasn't him. But such is life. What's done is done. Can't take it back, right? So yeah, you know. So I started at 12. By the age of 14, by the age of 14, my folks was already, you know what I mean, already forcing itself on me. So, and at the time that this was going on, I was going through some shit at home. You feel me? And it was I didn't feel loved. I didn't feel like nobody would care any fucking way. Um, and it would happen so often that it was like, what was the point of fucking fighting? I didn't even fight anymore. So in my mind, it was like it was consensual, because fuck am I fighting for? He's stronger than me, and wow, he's gonna deny it if I scream or anybody knows. Like it's like my family is, yo, I can't even explain. Especially now that I know what I know. Like, knowing the real story that was going throughout my family about what happened, it's wow to me. Like, my mother's version of this is so off, bro. Like, so off. But this is what she was told. And mind you, I was in foster care when it all came out. So I was having visitations at my grandmother's house. And, that was the only time I really got to see my parents. So everything was handled with my grandmother, and yeah, the story came back to my mother way off, like, and I hated my mother for years, bro, for years, because I thought she knew what was happening, and I thought she knew that it had happened and didn't do anything. I thought she just left me with the wolves. You feel me? Because I still had to live in that same house with that same motherfucker after it was put, told to a family member. Still had to reside with this motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? So it was a wicked time in my life, and I became very numb, especially with the fact that he was walking around like King Kong and he ain't do shit wrong. And to this day, that shit fucks with me. It's like, this nigga would live a whole life, a great life, loved by everybody, and don't nobody know that he's a rapist. It's wild to me. Wild to me. But on the same token of saying whatever about him, I have to take ownership as one of the survivors, one of the I hate the word victim, so I'm not even gonna call myself that. One of the folks that he violated. That's how I'll put it. Since I'm one of them, I feel it's my responsibility to make other people aware. Because if I don't talk up, if me as a person who was violated don't speak up, how anybody gonna know? How is anybody gonna be able to be aware of him? Beware of him. You feel what I'm saying? because sleeping demons don't go nowhere when they've never been addressed. You feel me? So that's my conviction, is knowing that that energy don't do nothing but transfer, and it can only transfer to the type of host that it was already coming from. In this situation, is transferring through the male genes. And being as though his only male gene is a baby, you feel me? It's like it's still with him, so that shit ain't get addressed. It didn't get dealt with. It didn't have to face its truth. It wasn't exposed for what it is. It wasn't a nothing was done. So when you don't address demons like that, or spirits or entities like that, they gonna lay dormant for a while, until they feel like it's cool to come back out again, or until they triggered to come out again, or tempted, however you want to put it. So I find it to be my duty to put people on game, because you don't know who you shaking hands with, and you never know how how that can affect your life. You feel me? And there are people who deserve to know, because they need to be safe. Because as I said, it's laying dormant. It ain't gone nowhere, and that needs to be addressed. And that's for not just him, but for every rapist that I've encountered in my life, because he's not the only one. He was just the first, as far as I can remember. So, and when I say rape, I mean unwilling. Like, it was something I didn't want. I wasn't. No, that's what I mean. So y'all don't get it twisted, because we have the whole statutory rape thing. Oh, if you're underage and sleeping, yeah, okay, but then that mean I've been raped since the fuck I started. If you want to go by the laws of statutory rape, but I was willingly having sex with these men. Granted, I was too young to make the proper decisions, really. You feel me? But I didn't equivalent those to rape. My rape was something that I did not want, something I didn't ask for, and it was forcefully taken from me. Okay, that's my definition of that. So y'all don't. All right. So yeah, he was the first one, and then behind him there was my ex-girlfriend, my first girlfriend ever, like girlfriend. Her brothers and her cousin also violated me while I was sleeping. I've been put in situations where I was forced to do things that I didn't want to do just for a place to stay. Yeah, so like I said, it's occurred quite often in my life. And the fucked up part about it is, a lot of those situations, I somehow in my mind convinced myself that I agreed. Somehow in my mind, I told myself that because I didn't fight, that it was it was consensual. In my mind, I made it okay, right? And it sounded crazy. It sounded crazy to me when I realized it. Because, for years I was living in clouds. I was living in a cloud of smoke, nigga. I don't remember a lot of things, and I don't understand my thought processes through a lot of the shit that was happening for me. Like, my mind and how I process things was so crazy. I was so mentally gone, yo. Like, it was like I was checked out, bro. Like, I can't even explain to you. Can't even really explain it. I was checked out. Checked out. Like, shit was, and this, pardon me, but because this is heavy, I'm gonna hit this bowl, baby. Let me calm myself down. Give me 1 second. Mm. Sorry, yes, I do smoke the trees. Baby, it keeps me level headed. Okay? So don't judge me, judge your mom. But this is really heavy for me, so please excuse me if you see me hit this a couple times on this episode, okay? This is real. For me, you feel me? I live this shit. And, I know there's going to be countless people who's going to have something to say or try to judge this shit or pick it apart or, just whatever. And because I've seen it happen countless of times with women before me sharing their story, I don't give a fuck what none of y'all say. And that's on period. I don't care how you feel about it. I don't care what you assume, what you think you know. I don't care. I don't care. If you weren't there, then you can't speak on shit. You can't tell me what is or what wasn't. None of that. You weren't there. You didn't live it. You didn't experience it. So, and it's not even for y'all. This is for those who have the similar story and can't share. Who have a similar story and don't have the strength to share. Who need to see somebody do it so they can do it. Like, yeah, this for them. It's not even for y'all. Other folks who just want something to talk about. Cause see, I'm talking about it, so it ain't nothing y'all can say or do that's gonna make me feel no type of way. Cause see, I'm already in a space where I'm okay with my story. I gotta say that because I know how folks are. I know how folks can be. So let's be very clear. Think twice before you come try and play with me. Okay? But anyway, I am breathing, y'all, because this is I'm gonna get back to it real quick. Give me a second, y'all, for real. But while I breathe and get my mind together, let me share with y'all my book, A Divine Path: Life's Transitions and Lessons Learned. You can find this on Google, on Lulu.com. I believe it's on Barnes and Nobles as well. It's a very thin book. It's not a whole lot to read. It's not a whole lot, but this is sharing some of the lessons and things that I've been through in my life, and situations and traumas that I've been through and how I learned from them. Right? There's another book coming because I have learned a whole lot more and experienced a whole lot more. So yeah, there's more to come. My story's not over yet. But yeah, I have a couple copies. If you would like to purchase from me, let me know. Wow, I plugged that in real quick. Let me know. Yeah, so I gotta breathe. Yo, all right. So back to the story. So yeah, I had at one point I had actually like called myself trying to blast this nigga in front of his friends because he had pissed me off. He had did something really effed up. Me and my cousin had two little guy friends come visit us or whatever, and they were literally just friends, really just friends. But when they were trying to leave, my cousin and his friends decided they was going to. Wow. My apologies. My brother was calling me. Let me put this on D&D because this is I can't. All right. So I am still in the process of healing from these situations, and coming to accepting all of the things that have occurred for what they really are. Because as I was saying, I have somehow in my mind made this shit okay. Like it was something that I approved of. And once I started dealing with dealing with things, and it started resurfacing, the truth came out for me, and it was like, whoa, whoa, damn, like, yeah. And so, it had me really like effed up in the brain, because I'm like, wow, Sierra, what's wrong with you? Like, you know how many years I thought I was really something was really wrong with me? Like, yo, having the fantasies and stuff that I've had after being raped was like, why would you fantasize about being raped if you've been raped? So in my mind, that made me feel extremely fucked up. Like something's fucking wrong with me. But as I learned later in life, that is actually a trauma response. People respond to traumas in different ways, and crazy enough, that was my response. My response to was to embrace the behavioral activity of rape. My response was to, I guess you would say, take back control of that for myself, so that I'm the one controlling the narrative. It made me feel like I was taking my power back, because, yeah, that was just how I responded. And I could not for the life of me understand why that was how I responded, because, like I said, that is trippy, bro. Like, really trippy. But I'm not the only person in the world who is like that. There's a whole lifestyle of people who have responded to their sexual traumas in that way. And I was I'm grateful that I was able to come across this lifestyle of people, and be embraced and helped through the healing process. So for me, BDSM was my way of taking my power back and starting the healing process of those sexual traumas. If you want to know more details about those traumas, you can absolutely get the book. There's more details in there. Um, but yeah, that has been the biggest trauma for me, is to own the fact that I was violated by a family member and nothing was done about it, even though my family knows. Um, till this day, nothing. I haven't even had a conversation with this man. I really want to have a conversation with this man. I really want to know why, and I really want to tell him what I know, because um, after asking, honestly, after asking my spirit guides and my ancestors what was the next step in my healing and how do I deal with this, I was told to reach out to him and tell him and deliver a message to him, basically. So this is how I got the understanding that this was a generational situation for us. This has been happening for generations in my family, where women in my family have been violated by men in my family, and they have been silent, and nothing has been done. Nothing was addressed. So, hold on a second. Yes. Yes. So, pardon me, I'm babysitting. But, yeah, so no one, no one ever came forward, or if they came forward, again, nothing was done. So these men continue to live out their lives carrying the spirit, and then having children, and that passing on to children, you feel me, who later grew up as the same type of men, or with the same type of spirit. So the only way that it could be stopped or it could be put to an end in the family is you had to break it. Somebody had to speak up. There couldn't be any more secret about it. It couldn't be something that we just brushed under the rug like the shit didn't happen and keep moving. That cannot happen. That allows the spirit to continue to move throughout the generations, throughout the bloodline, creating more karma for the family. And you don't want karmic debt, okay? So, you know, you want to try to clear that up. I definitely know that I don't want karmic debt. And for me, this is also personal for me because this helps me to heal, being able to speak my truth because of the fact that I was never able to, never given the opportunity to really address the issue, to really speak on it. And it's full in entirety and honesty, and this is my opportunity to do that. I'm no longer afraid, because whatever spirit puts me to, clearly I'm protected in it. So I'm not, I had no reason to fear it, you feel what I'm saying? So time to get it out, you feel me? And I gotta release it, because the longer that I keep silent about it, the more I torment myself, and that's something that I'm tired of doing. I'm tired of punishing myself as if I did something wrong. I'm tired of feeling guilty and shameful as if I did something wrong. Like, yo, I was violated and I shouldn't have been, especially not by the person that it was. I should have been able to trust this person. This is family. You're supposed to feel safe with your family. And then for my family to not do anything to make me feel any safer just really added to a whole lot of issues for me in my life, and really had me in a really messed up mindset, so that when it started occurring in people outside of my family, and when it started occurring with other people, it was just, I was so numb to the fact, I had convinced myself that it's no point of fighting this shit because they're going to take what they want. That's the world we live in, right? Males just get to take what they want, and it's okay. They get to do whatever they want to do and move how they want to move, and it's okay. And we're supposed to just lay down and take it. That's the mentality of the world that we live in. And unfortunately, there are a multitude of women who have been violated in that way and never able to speak up. Or because they're afraid. Because when the people who do speak up, they get persecuted. How is it the person who's violated is persecuted and not the violator? That is absolutely absurd to me. How do we continue to allow this type of behavior to pass on? We can't keep doing that. So I have to be, because I feel so strongly about that, how can I sit back and not say anything? I have to. So here it is. You feel what I'm saying? Like, men violate women all the time. No means fucking no. Period. Stop means stop. Period. And I hate that there are videos going around and women saying, oh, when I say no or stop, I mean keep going. No, bitch. You are fucking it up for the rest of us who really mean no and stop when we say it. Y'all making them think it's just a, oh, she just want to play hard to get. No, nigga. No is no, and stop is stop. I don't want to is I don't want to, and that's that. Stop making women feel like they have to do what you want them to do, or else it will be such and such consequence, or else you won't respect them. Because I'm gonna be honest, that's why I felt like I had sex with a lot of the people that I had sex with. That's why I was so promiscuous, because I felt like it was so many people that wanted to have sex with me. So when they pressed up on me, I felt like, what was the point of saying no? Because shit, what they gonna do? Take it from me, right? They just gonna take it from me. Because that's what the fuck I was accustomed to. People just taking what the fuck they want from me. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't care. They didn't care how it affected me. They didn't care how I felt. So yeah, I grew up, I had a really effed up mindset, and I allowed so many people to violate me. And those spirits sat with me for years and years and years. And then I wonder why my relationships always failed. And I was always so broken because I was carrying this weight of feeling like I had to please everybody. I had to give everybody what they wanted. Because what was the point of not giving it to them? They just gonna take it. You feel what I'm saying? You know, and then when I tried to when I try to say no, when I try to, I'm the bad guy, or I don't love them, or could possibly care, or I don't want them. Like, it's wild how people will manipulate your mind to make you feel bad for saying no to them. And you don't equivalent that as rape. You don't equivalent that as some type of violation because, like, especially when you have been through it multiple times. So for me, no, I didn't. It was like I was just numb to it at that. I was numb to it. So I kept giving in to stuff that I really wanted to say no to. And I met quite a few people who have done the same. Just did stuff because they felt like they had no other choice. Because then they would lose a person's love or respect or benefits or whatever. You feel me? Whatever the reason. There should never be a time where a person should feel like they cannot speak on how they really feel or turn down or deny somebody because they feel like it's going to be taken from them if they say no. That should not be happening. So this is my first time sharing this story in this manner on this type of platform, and I hope that me sharing my story will help somebody else to be brave enough to share theirs, or to be brave enough to face their violators. I pray that they find the strength to speak up and get justice, and to seek a reprimand for it, because this is not something that you can just ignore. A person who would take something from someone that they clearly say they don't want them to have, when it comes to their physical sacred space, sacred personal body, like, because this is a sacred temple. While you in it, while your spirit is in it, this is sacred. It's sacred. It's something that's you. It's yours. And you should be able to have it and give it as you please without having to feel like you don't have a fucking choice. So it takes somebody who's sick, something wrong, for you to feel like you can just go around taking something so sacred from people and feel like it's okay and sleep good at night. It's not okay. It's not okay, and it'll never be okay. I don't care how many fucked up laws they try to pass to make pedophilia a normal sexual preference and all this stupid shit. Like, yo, y'all are creating fucking monsters. Start speaking up. We gotta start speaking up. We can't keep acting like this shit is not happening, and we cannot keep just letting these niggas slide. And I had to say, on the other side, there are males out here who have been violated by grown ass women, taking advantage of little boys. Like, come on. It goes both ways. There's some sick ass people out here, and we need to be in a space where we can speak on it. We should feel safe about speaking on it and exposing it, because that's the only way to get rid of it. Expose it to the light. Like, come on. We gotta start doing something about this shit. It's getting real bad out here. You feel me? Children are being violated it's at an all-time high. Children are being taken and done the worst of things too. Like, come on. These innocent souls. Children. You got grown people out here being violated like that. And I just want to say this also. You know it's possible for your mate to rape you too. I need y'all to understand that. Because no, just because y'all together don't mean you have to always give them what they want sexually. You don't. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. And if they decide to take it from you anyway, baby, that's still considered rape. Spouse or no spouse, mate or no mate, partner, no partner. It don't goddamn matter. If you said no and you meant it, that's that. And if they don't respect that, that's a violation. I have been through that too. And it was a pastor's son. Okay? So, yeah. When you say no, no is no. No matter who it is, no matter what the relationship is, it's a violation. And if any other type of violator should be persecuted, so the fuck should they? They need to face their shit too. Because once again, it's not the person, it's the spirit and energy that's in them. So if that spirit don't be brought to fucking light, guess what? It's going to keep on being there. Or it's going to pass on to someone else. Do your part. It's only but so much we can do. So the most we can do really is to tell the truth about it, to speak on it. And Lord knows I've been quiet long enough. I'm 36 years old. That shit happened to me when I was 14, 15. Okay. So yeah. Yeah. Long enough I've been silent. Long enough I've been quiet about what's happened with me. But this is just one of the many things. You feel what I'm saying? But it's one of the biggest for me. And it is the reason why my sexual orientation and behavior has been what it's been over the years. Some would say I'm a hoe. Some would say I have been a wildflower, free spirit, however you want to call it. You know, yes, I have been very frugal and free in my years. But don't judge me. Because you ain't walked a mile in my shoes, so don't judge me. That's how I dealt with my trauma. And now that I'm very aware of why I behave that way and where it came from, I'm able to work on it and heal from it, so I haven't been that promiscuous anymore. I don't find the need for it anymore because I found a way to heal from it. I found a way to start dealing with it and accepting it for what it is. So, if I can do that, you can too. Remember that. You do have a voice. You do have a platform to share. I definitely want to start bringing guests on. So, like, if you want to be a person to come share your story, hit me up. Hit me up. Send me a message. Hit me in the comments, and we'll get in touch. You hear me? Because I really want to help people deal with this shit, like to face it and to work through it, because this shit can really affect you in some of the worst ways. I couldn't be open to anybody in any of my relationships. I would tell people I loved them all the time. Yo, what's that line? And it's crazy because this line kept playing in my head the other day. Confirmations. This song just kept on playing in my head. This particular line, Erykah Badu said, "Just because I tell you I love you don't mean I do." And unfortunately, I've told a lot of people that I love them in my life in a way that went beyond friendship. You know, because I love everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I've never been in love with anybody. I love everybody. I have a heart for everybody. I want everybody to be well. Everybody to feel what love is, because, you know, a lot of people don't know what that really feel like. But I digress. But yeah, that's what it is. You feel me? I done forgot. I lost my train of thought, y'all. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. But yes, you can definitely come on this platform and share your story. I'm more than willing and open to have those kind of conversations. This stuff need to be dealt with. And people need a place, a safe space to share, to release, so they can start their healing. You're not alone, baby. You're not alone. And if I can do it, after all these years of holding this shit in, if I can do it, you can do it. We can do it together. Y'all know the motto. We listen, we learn, and we heal together. It's elevation time, baby. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget A Divine Path. Get your book, baby. Get your book. Can be found on Barnes and Nobles, Google. Um, what else I said? Lulu.com. You feel me? You feel me? Buy it up, buy it up. And I also have some copies on hand if you guys want to purchase. So hit me up if you would like a copy of my book. I just want to thank you all for joining me. Thank you for opening your hearts and your minds to hear my story. I hope that it helps somebody do whatever needs to be done so they can heal from it and move through, right? To get to a better place in life, because I know it can get real. So I just want to send some love, send some positive energy your way. I hope you guys breathe. Matter of fact, let's breathe together real quick before we get off of here. We're going to breathe in through the nose. Hold. Breathe out through the mouth. Breathe all the way out, y'all. When you breathe in, I need you to breathe in love, breathe in light, breathe in energy of positive love, healing. Breathe all of that in. Hold that in so it can permeate throughout your whole spirit. And then I need you to release all of that negativity, all of that hurt, all of that pain, all of that everything that's sitting. Release it. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. We're going to breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. One more time, y'all. We're going to breathe in through the nose. Breathe out. Don't carry any of this with you. Shake that shit off. Let it go. Release that. Don't let any of this story of mine affect you in a negative way. Take it as a learning tool. We'll come back and talk more about this another episode. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And we'll be back on our regularly scheduled program the last Sunday of this month. So be sure to tune in the last Sunday of this month for the next episode, guys. This was a special edition. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll be back on schedule at the end of the month. You guys be well, be love, be peace, be joy. I love y'all, and I'm out.